Every new shiny Pokemon as well as a new form has been revealed for the Sword and Shield expansion. They might be on some familiar faces, but today we'll be bringing you all 10 new shiny Pokemon that you can find in the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion and talking about which one is best. Shiny Pokemon are some of my favorites to discuss, as somehow the little changes in colors can bring a whole new topic of conversation. So let's hear which ones are your favorites as we go through the top 10 best new shiny Pokemon in the Isle of Armor. Number 10. Gigantamax Urshifu. Instead of having the different forms in different numbers like we usually do, we'll just have the regular Urshifu, as they share the same name, in their own number, and their Gigantamax forms in another number. So yes, we are again putting different forms in different numbers, but in technically a different way. Where is the shiny? I know that I'm not going off official artwork to really see the emphasis and color changes, but whenever we use only art, everyone says, wait to see it in the game. This is in the game, what am I looking for here? Of course it's shiny lock, so it's probably not the most legit. However, it is the official shiny, and I don't know what I'm looking for. So what they really changed was just the fingers, the toes, and the mouth section to be a little bit more red or pinkish, which is why number 9 is also Urshifu. The problem with the last section, however, is just that the color hue of Gigantamax Pokemon depreciates the ability to see any color changes, especially with one as small as the one they gave to Urshifu. Both of them. That's not a very big change. Personally, what I would have done is given them some of the color they had from their Gigantamax forms into their regular forms, and even then, blended their original colors into their Gigantamax forms to give a reference to each other in each form. Red goes well with the dark type Urshifu, blue goes well with the water type Urshifu. Just seems like a good color to put on them before the Gigantamax, and then have them turn into darker colors. Or at least one you can see through the aura. That would be a lot better than the Strawberry Starburst mouth mask they've been given. They did pick the best Starburst for that, but there could have been a lot more detail put into them, with very little effort, to just give a blue and red hue. Even though the non-Gigantamax Urshifu aren't the best shiny Pokemon there is still a little bit of common joy you can get from seeing those in battle with the sparks shooting off whenever Game Freak decides to make an event for those. But seeing them Gigantamax into what is pretty much exactly the same as their non-shiny Gigantamax forms, and even being overtaken by their Gigantamax aura color, is not even a 10, that's like a 20. Number 8. Kubfu. At least the group stuck together by being close in numbers. We are progressively getting better from number to number, where it is just exactly the same thing they did to Urshifu, and maybe just a little tint on the rest of Kubfu's fur, but this type of shiny variant is cute for a little bear that evolves into one that actually has more colors. As a starting base for a Pokemon that evolves, it isn't too bad of a shiny. Maybe you do want to see more, but that's supposed to be where the evolutions come into play, at the very least. If Kubfu didn't evolve and this was its only shiny, it could still be funny, like, oh look, it has some ragu on its face. But for a small Pokemon, that still can work. However, when it evolves into these, it just feels like it's a little lacking altogether, since it doesn't get a chance at redemption in its shiny evolution forms. Even giving Kubfu just a green highlight would probably be better, and you all know how little I like green shiny Pokemon. But in general, it isn't bad, but feels a little low effort for a shiny version to a Pokemon. Number 7. Gigantamax Rillaboom. I did say on my worst shiny video that Rillaboom doesn't have the best shiny, and put it on the thumbnail, and didn't really center it properly either, but I think it does improve to a great degree in its Gigantamax form. The overarching darkness in the background of battles and the leering Gigantamax aura does make it a bit more difficult to see, but in general, the shiny Rillaboom color is a lot more potent and tangible to sort of give off a better impression. It also takes on those colors and shows them off in a huge sculpture of a Pokemon, which compared to regular shiny Rillaboom without its Gigantamax form, does do it some justice. It still remains the color of left out for too long lettuce, but the general idea is brought about in a better light and allows for a small redemption arc for shiny Rillaboom, and also manages to display that Gigantamax forms can help in certain ways to make a shiny Pokemon more palpable. Number 6. Gigantamax Venusaur. It's not the green, it's the light green. Well, that's not even that bad. In general, it's not bad as its own entity, but Gigantamax forms with specific colors can be a little hard to grasp. This one, however, is still really good. Shiny Venusaur has some more focused traits highlighted, and even with the Gigantamax aura, the petal helmet, or as I like to call it, the petal mitt, is now a nicer gold looking color. The color is the same in its original shiny version, and even in its Mega Evolution, but with that glossy touch like you just added oil and really well spread plastic wrap on top of a gold brick, the shiny ends up feeling a little more special. Even making those petals arc over the entirety of Venusaur and going from what was more of an embellishment to now half its body and a sure focus part of it allows a different color to overtake in this, as opposed to its body being the more color focused change. This is a nice new feature that Shiny Gigantamax Venusaur is given. I do like the green of its body as well. It's even a nice color for regular shiny Venusaur, but this change in focus from the most potent color being the body to the now golden petals is what really makes it, bringing Gigantamax Venusaur to number 6. Number 5. Gigantamax Blastoise. It's really the calming blue color that gets me, and gives off a nice serene feeling to really encapsulate the color choices of shiny Pokemon. Blastoise doesn't really turn around that much, so most of it's like a hidden showing of its color scheme, very graceful, very risque of a shiny Pokemon, showing its true colors. The shell is a little bit more dark, not too much so, but there's some green, maybe some yellow, not really sure, can't really tell, but always some green. It's pretty nice and does look good in the Gigantamax hue, so not a bad looking new shiny Pokemon. Nice to see it glimmering on the battlefield with it turning the opposite way of the opponent while shooting out shots of water from its multi-cannon back, but its body is looking nice and cleanly washed too, even though you don't see too much. Number 4. Zarude. Zarude manages to bring two things to the party. It has a nice shiny form here, with a gold vest to look like that rich monster living in the forest, and apparently forcing other Pokemon out of their habitats like, well, much like a rich monster. But it also has a new alternate form, with a nice purple pinkish neck scarf to showcase itself in the movie. This version does also get the same shiny version, so its neck scarf gets complemented by its golden vest. It's not too much, but it is a nice change. Even its eye mascara goes from silver to gold, and that's an upgrade that's subtle but really well done. Its inner palm gets a tint too, but what's great about this is that Zarude takes the subtle color changes that Kubfu and Urshifu were trying to pull off, but much better and much more spread out to where it's not only noticeable, but also used more often in its design. That stomach color is a lot more apparent than anything on Urshifu, and is done to such a better degree that you could probably take half of its chest, give that to Urshifu, and just average out the amount of love these shiny Pokemon could possibly get. Sharing is caring. Zarude's shiny is pretty good, and its scarf form is a nice addition and nod to it being in the new movie, so a well-deserved 4th pick goes to the jungler. Number 3. Gigantamax Cinderace. It's not really changed from its regular shiny version, but Cinderace looking like this big bad burned bunny by the ball of fire just underneath its feet does leave a special mark for a new shiny Gigantamax Pokemon. The little Gigantamax puffs at the top also look like smoke, so with the pyro ball shooting flames everywhere and Cinderace being set up to look like it was out in the sun for too long, or on top of the sun for too long, it does leave a lasting impression to give off a funny, shiny Pokemon feeling that Game Freak occasionally manages to pull in with their color choices. Still could have been nice to see that giant ball of flame change colors, but aside from that, Cinderace does look a little more intimidating in this form, as opposed to its regular shiny version, where it's standing atop its own tower and lurching from afar as this darkened creature is ready to battle and send its ball of flame directly towards you in its signature Gigantamax move. I think this shiny Gigantamax version takes really good consideration of everything, with the clouds and heated balls of fire, to utilize the colors they gave regular shiny Cinderace and improved it by this display. Number 2. Slowbro. Slowbro had to fight its way out with the shiny Gigantamax Pokemon, but Galarian Slowbro gets a high-tiered spot for its new shimmering look. The shiny Kanto Slowbro did have a lot of blue-purple going into it and might have lacked a little bit of air, but shiny Galarian Slowbro managed to mix that up with a nice golden color. It took Zarude's vest and just put it all over its entire body. Still has that bronze shell, however, might be described as a different color, but we won't go into that. Yet the polished pink-yellow combination that shiny Galarian Slowbro sports manages to go well with its mix-and-match purple additions, making it a nice one to see. The grow-up adds to it as well, where shiny Slowpoke is this giant yellow bubble, and as it evolves, it calms down on the bright colors and goes for a more contemporary look. That is calming, yet exciting to see in the games. Number 1. Gigantamax Inteleon. Okay, look, I know I may have put Inteleon at the top of the worst shiny Pokemon list, but over time the colors got a lot better, and in this form, it's just amazing. Having the tower go full white like it's the Space Needle, and having this sleek uniform then expressed in its form, and really showing off its personality, along with the more suave style it's going for, like running into a party with a white suit when everyone is wearing black. They really didn't appreciate that at the funeral I went to. But in this design, Inteleon could easily slide into anything with that very nicely tailored and colorized outfit it is sporting. I think this huge tower with it patiently waiting there holding a water sniper and that sophisticated head nod after shooting a blast, really emphasized the look of this shiny color choice and makes Gigantamax Inteleon the #1 best new shiny Pokemon there could be.